Okay, I'm just using some rocks nearby as a little stand for my phone. So hopefully and it's just outside with a little waterfall and birds, so hopefully the audio works too, and it's windy. So there's like a good chance that you won't be able to really see or hear anything in this, but that's okay. I was just thinking about like what could I do as an astrologer in terms of like making content that's like different from every other astrologer. Like yeah, I could do like videos about the new moons and the full moons and what's aspecting them and what that means for the signs and blah blah blah. But there's like, I already know, like I watch so many of those every month about the full moons and like the upcoming aspects and stuff. It's like, I don't know if we need any more excuse me, any more people talking about that at the moment. Although maybe once I'm in Europe, that'll be something I care more about, because I think a lot of them are American centric, or maybe those are just the ones I watch, who knows. I started watching them in German too. I can't remember, Hannah Yoko, I watch her videos, and there's like another one that I've seen, yeah, and I watched one of them was in French, because the word astrology is in German, and I think it's probably pronounced astrology in French, but it's spelled the same. Oh my gosh. And I didn't type the infinitive, so usually I was typing like, I forgot if it's like der astrology or die astrology, I guess, der, die, das, but I typed like Jungfrau, which means young woman, or it's like just what they call Virgo. Yeah, I don't know why, like in English we just use like the same Greek words, but in German they're like translated into German, it seems like, meow. But anyway, yeah, I don't know, it's interesting, but maybe that'll be something I do to like help learn languages. I was doing Duolingo today and I was doing so well, and I was doing so many different languages. Like I was doing Latin, and it was just like so easy because I took Spanish in high school, French and Italian in college, and then I'm learning German now. And I've also like dabbled a few times in like, because I'll just like go on Duolingo and do a random language for no reason. I'm like, why would I ever need German? And then I did German for like a week, and then I was like, I don't know, I don't like need to learn the words like bread and cheese, and like I don't see myself going to Germany, but now I am going to Germany. But anyway, the point of this video, oh man, I just start like rambling. Anyway, yeah, I was thinking about what astrological content I could make that's like unique, and one thing I was thinking was like reading my old diaries and like astrologizing them, and I'd like block out the names. Ideally I'd put like post-it notes over, like I would probably show it because my handwriting, not to brag, but it's like really nice most of the time, but it does change based on my mood, so it's kind of like interesting to like watch, you know, like look at what my handwriting looks like based on what I'm talking about. It's kind of fun. Anyway, I could, and they're like dated and timed sometimes I didn't put the time, but I usually put the date at least. Sometimes I got the date wrong, or like I'd put Saturday when it was Friday or something, but I can figure all that out probably. So I was gonna, yeah, just like show the like journals and let people like read it, and have me like reading as a voiceover, but I would have like post-it notes over any names or like specifics, I guess, because I mean, it's like my decision to like read my diary on the internet, and like no one else has like consented to being exposed like this or anything. So it's like, you know, I don't want to do anything like that, but I just want to like analyze, you know, like what's happening in my life, like look at the transits at the time, maybe look at the zodiacal releasing. We'll see how like deep it goes. But yeah, now I'm looking at zodiacal releasing, and it's like it goes down to like 8 sub-levels on AstroSeek. So yeah, AstroSeek. I think it's astro-seek.com. I could be wrong, but I was watching the astrology show and watching my like really like 8th level sub-levels changing, and those change, like the level 1 periods change between every 8 years and every like 30, or not every. It's complicated, but the different planets have different lengths of time. So like for Venus it's 8, and Saturn has 27 and 30 for some reason. No one's explained it in a video yet, but I'll learn it someday probably. But yeah, so 27 and 30 for Saturn years, and yeah, it's already super complicated. I'm not even like really explaining anything. So that tells you what's happening there. But anyway, I was watching like the 8th level sub periods, and they're changing every like 8 seconds or 30 seconds, and it was like every time an Earth sub level would start. So like when the signs Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn came up while I was watching this one specific episode. It hasn't really happened again, but of the astrology show, every time they mentioned Earth or money or like working, it was the beginning of an Earth sub-level. So I was like, that's interesting, you know? And I was looking at it again, and I like applied for my passport on February 7th, and it was supposed to come between 3 to 5 weeks, and so we were expecting it around March 7th. And I looked at that, and that was a Leo sub period for me during, I think for level 1 it's like Leo, which is my peak because my part of fortune is in Scorpio. So the peak periods are the fixed signs. If that doesn't mean anything to you, just ignore it. It doesn't matter. Anyway. And then Leo's the 10th sign from fortune, so it's like the most important sign, most important peak period. So anyway, it was a Leo sub-period on March 7th, which is when I was expecting to get the passport, because it was 4 weeks from when they said 3 to 5 weeks. And when I applied for it, I think it was a Sagittarius sub-period, so I thought that was funny, because it was like about traveling, because I'm getting my passport. And then it was the Leo sub-period that we were expecting it, and it didn't come. But then the loosing of the bond happened, another Leo sub-period. Guess what happened? The passport came like the second day of the, it wasn't the very first day that it could have, like, that the period started, but like the next day. It was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. So I understand, like, in the videos about zodiacal releasing I've seen, it's kind of like, well, it brings up this question of like, is there really free will if everything is like, you can predict these things out to like the second like that? Like, what's really going on here? But yeah, it's like, maybe this was predestined all along, or maybe, I don't know. I like to think of it as like Alice's visions in Twilight. Like, there are all these like timelines that you could go down, and like at every second you could make a choice, and it would like close off some timelines and like whatever, and it's just based on like the decision. So it's like kind of like I imagine like God or whatever would have like all of these timelines, and like as people make choices, like adjust their plan based on. So I kind of feel like there is both. Anyway, fate and free will at the same time. So, you know, who'd have thunk? Anyway, yeah, let me know if you want me to read my diaries on the internet. With names blocked out, with little post-it notes. And I think that could be fun. I think I could get really creative with like drawing little doodles that represent people that like I know what they mean, but you guys don't know what that means. You don't know what that means. Yeah, I feel like that grammatically was really weird, but I don't know. Who can never be sure? Meow. Meow is right, Snowball. Anyway, that's, if you have any other ideas, that's really my main one. Like most things are covered, you know, like history of astrology, what all the planets mean, what the signs mean, what the houses mean, like you can find all that stuff. I don't need to go over it. But, yeah, no one else can read my diaries, so that's the unique thing I have to offer, I guess. Just kidding. But yeah, I think it's an interesting, I want to do it and like spend more time doing it, but it's like a lot of energy and work to like read through it all, like, relive all this stuff. Oh my gosh, it's so sad. Anyway, some of it, but some of it's really positive, and so yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see why some of it was so sad and some of it is not as sad. Anyway, so I think, yeah, it'll be an interesting little experiment, and yeah, that's all I have to say, I guess. Alright, ta-ta for now. Let me know if you have any other things that you want to know about astrology though, because I am thinking about making more content, but I don't know, I don't know what to talk about. Okay, bye!